Are you wanting to scale your business with digital products? I'm Becky Beach, and I've grown $1 million digital product empire that earns me passive income while I sleep, eat, and play. Join me each week as we grow our digital product businesses together. This is the Becky Beach Show. Oh, hey, everybody, welcome to the Becky Beach Show. I'm Becky Beach, and today's guest is Chelsea Clarke of Her Paper Route, a niche investor. Chelsea's going to talk to us today about flipping your website to earn money. Well, welcome, Chelsea.
Hey, thank you so much for having me here, Becky. So excited to be here.
Oh, yes, yes. I'm just really excited to have you. I've been a big fan for years, and we actually met in person at FinCon, which is a finance convention for bloggers and finance experts. And it was really great to meet you. And you also valued my blog too. That was interesting.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. It's so cool to get to meet you in person, like when you get to put a real life face to the person you've been following for so long. So it was really cool to get to meet you that way.
Oh yeah, yes. Like I've been getting your things. I first met you in the Genius Blogger Toolkit. Well, I met you online, and that's how I found out about you. You actually have a with really popular website post where you're like promoting that toolkit. I think I bought with your link when I first heard about it.
That's amazing. Small world on that
Oh
one.
yes, yeah. So tell us, how did you get started doing this? Like helping people flip their websites and starting your business.
For sure. Well, I started out as a content creator, out as a blogger with Tumblr, like back in the day, before it was even I knew that you could monetize a site. I was just all about the content and sharing ideas. And I was working at a business brokerage and in the marketing department, not as a broker.
Hmm.
And we focused on brick and mortar businesses. That was what all the brokers did. They didn't even look at a digital business as something to potentially sell. And I was like, hey, I can combine my love for blogging and this interest in the digital space of selling websites. And I started to do it just myself. I would build a site, I would grow it for a little bit, and then I would sell it, and then I would talk to my audience at my blog, Her Paper Route. I would talk to that community about what I was doing with this new thing that I was doing with blog flipping.
Hmm.
And people just kind of, ears started to pick up. So I had talked about all sorts of different passive income ideas and ways to make money. And it was always just like, oh, yeah, that's okay. But then when I started talking about blog flipping, it seemed like people were interested in hearing that from me. And
Hmm.
so I just kind of went all in on that because it was something I loved so much and I was actively doing, and it was so fun. So what I ended up doing is I went through the International Business Brokers Association, and I basically learned how to be a brick and mortar broker, but then I just applied that to the digital space. And then I launched the Niche Investor Brokerage, where we help people buy and sell blogs, e-commerce sites, digital product businesses, online shops, stuff like that. And it's just kind of growing now from there, which has been a really fun experience to get to be a part of. Kind of a it's not a new industry, but it doesn't seem like there's that many women doing it. So it's been cool to,
Yeah.
see more women getting into it over the years and seeing that community grow.
Oh yeah, every time I see someone like in a Facebook group saying, "Oh, I want to sell my blog," what do I do? I always tag you and recommend you.
Thank you. I appreciate that so much.
Yeah, so like what would be a reason somebody would want to flip their blog or their website?
Yeah, well, some people do it like as a business. They actually start the blog with the idea, the intention that they will sell it one day. And I think that's smart to start any type of business with an exit strategy in mind. Even if you're thinking maybe I'll keep this business forever, it's still good to start it up with thinking ahead because things might change. In 10 years, you might not want to run the same blog anymore. And
Mhm.
you just knowing that you have options, you don't have to just cancel your hosting and delete everything. You can actually sell it to someone else. So we have a lot of people that start that way, where they start it with the intention that, okay, they're going to build it for 6 months, they're going to grow it with Pinterest, monetize it with some digital products, add revenue, and then sell it for profit. And then we have the other creators who started their blog maybe years ago. They never even thought it would be an idea to sell it. And
Mhm.
then now they're like, okay, I want to sell now. So maybe I have to do a little bit of backpedaling just to get some things in order so that it could be ready for a new owner. And things like that would be maybe you would want to depersonalize your site a little bit. So if you have a site and you've been
Hmm.
running it forever, maybe you've got photos of yourself or photos of your kids, might be a good idea to take those photos down and kind of depersonalize your site a little bit so that a new owner could easily put their name on it and run with it moving forward. But no
Yeah.
matter which side you're on, you definitely have options for selling. And those are the main reasons that
Hmm.
people sell. But it could also be retirement. It could
Hmm.
be just their passions, their interests have changed. They're no longer interested in that niche, or they feel like they've given everything that they could to that site and they want to try something different, or maybe they just are in a totally different business. They're not blogging anymore. There's really so many reasons, and there's no wrong reason.
Hmm.
When you feel like it's time, then it's time.
Yeah, you're so right. Like there was this lady, her name was Tracy Forbes, and she sold her blog and she ended up being able to pay off her own house
I remember
with the
that.
sales.
Yeah.
Wasn't it called Penny Pinching Mom or something like that?
Yep, she got a six-figure sale for that one, and it was great. And it was like a personal sort of lifestyle finance blog too, but
Uh-huh.
she was able to kind of make it where the new owners could keep her persona on it a little bit
Hmm.
because she really had built up that brand around her face, but depersonalize it enough that people wouldn't think she was still running it moving forward. But they kind of kept her brand. I think it was on like the about page, like this business
Yeah.
was founded by this person, but it's no
Mhm.
longer actively run by that person.
Oh, that was nice of them to do that. Like I like that. So she still gets credit for her site.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't know if that's still on the page. This was a couple years ago, but
Uh-huh.
talking to Tracy, that was something we kind of mentioned years ago.
Yeah, yeah, it's just really cool how you could do that. Because there was like a time when I wanted to sell Mom Beach, but then it started getting more, it started making money again because at first it was kind of losing revenue. So what's a good time to sell a blog? Is it when it's at its peak of earning or like after it kind of winds down? Like what do you think?
I think the best time to sell usually is when the revenue is and traffic is on an upward trajectory
Mm-hmm.
because you're going to get more interest from buyers rather than something that is quote unquote tanking. It's going to be harder to sell a site that has really dropped in recent time.
Mm-hmm.
But the caveat to that is that I actually think the very best time to sell is when you are no longer interested in it. Because if you're not interested in it, you're not probably going to be able to keep that trajectory going. So even if your site is on a decline, but you just know your passion's not there, your mind is somewhere else,
Mm-hmm.
then that's probably the best time to sell it because someone else could take it and run with it if you're no longer willing to kind of put that love into it.
Yeah, you can usually tell when someone just doesn't really care about their site, like they don't post anything new, and like the traffic's really go on the wayside. So when someone's out there thinking about selling your blog, like definitely get in touch with Chelsea. We'll have her information at the end. So how could somebody get their website valued?
So we offer a free valuation at nicheinvestor.com/VAL.
Uh-huh.
And what that is people can enter information about their traffic, their social followers, email list size, revenue, the types of revenue, because actually sites can be valued differently depending on where they earn their revenue. So I can give you an example of that. A site that earns from affiliate revenue, ad revenue, and digital products is the most valuable, most sought after because a new owner can continue that. They don't have to have a special skill
Hmm.
to in order to keep that revenue stream assuming it will keep going. Whereas if it's something that's service based, that's going to be harder to sell because the new owner would have to have your same skills and ability in order to do it or outsource it, and that could become another expense. Something people don't know usually, but I always like to mention this is actually
Hmm.
sponsored income, like sponsored posts, brand deals, that kind of thing. That is actually not a very good revenue stream if your goal is to sell the business
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that's like a one-time deal that you made with a brand. That's not
Hmm.
something that's recurring that a new owner can expect. So I would always just say focus on the ad revenue, digital products, and affiliate revenue as your main kind of trifecta.
Hmm.
And then when you put that into the valuation form, you'll get a valuation from our team, and there's no cost for that, and there's no pressure. But then we provide some info if you are interested in selling it and kind of give you a suggested range of what it might be worth, what it could potentially sell
Hmm.
for. And that range can be like a high, middle, low, so that you could really say, okay, if I want a fast, quick sale, I know
Hmm.
I could price it at the lower end. I'm probably going to sell pretty fast. Or if
Yeah.
I'm not in a rush and I want to get the most and I'm okay to wait a little bit, we'll list it on the higher end. And then we can kind of be open to offers and kind of take you can take your time deciding what you want to accept or not, which
Hmm.
is a nice kind of thing. The seller is always in the power seat here. Um,
Yeah.
and we always want to support our sellers to make sure that, we're getting them the best price we can get.
Hmm.
And then also not, no one's pressured to have to sell. You really get to pick and choose your offers.
Yeah, that is true. Well, if someone's out there listening and they go, well, I want to sell my site, but I want to remain anonymous. I don't want everybody to know who I am. I don't want people to know my site because what if they search my site, on the SEMrush or the Hrefs and they find my traffic and then they start taking my traffic away with the skyscraper technique, whatever those people do, and then I'll lose my traffic and I'll lose money. Like, what do you say to those people?
Yeah, so we always offer confidential listings if someone wants it. So a confidential listing would be there's no, we don't write the name of your blog anywhere. We don't give away any identificated, I cannot talk, any information that identifies who the site is or who the seller is. And then any interested buyers, they'll see the general information of what the site's earning, but they
Uh-huh.
won't actually know the site and they'll have to fill out an NDA and sign an NDA before they can see any of that, any of the revenue information or the site
Hmm.
name. And then that can help stop that too. So, there's always another extra layer of protection for people.
Oh, I really like that. So, what percentage do you usually take when someone sells your blog through you?
Yeah, so it ranges from 5% to 20%. So
Mhm.
you pay a lower commission fee the higher your site sells for. So there's a whole range, but we do have a frequently asked questions page on the site that
Mhm.
breaks that down so you can see, depending on what your valuation is, how much you would expect to pay on a success fee. And that's only paid if you sell your site successfully. So if your site doesn't sell, you're not paying anything.
Oh, that's great because I see someone would feel pressure. They go, "Oh, and if my site doesn't sell, like, do I still got to pay it?" So great, and you answered that. So what would you say to someone out there that's listening and go, "This sounds like a great offer and everything, but like, how do I get started doing this?"
Well, I think the first step, and it's something that you're probably already doing anyway as a creator, is make sure you have your Google Analytics attached to the site so it's tracking
Hmm.
the traffic and you're keeping records. So you're keeping like a monthly profit and loss sheet, what you're spending on the business and
Hmm.
what it's earning. And then when you do your valuation, we'll take a look at that and that can help us and the buyers to really understand the history of your site. That's going to give you a better chance of attracting those really great buyers faster. Just those records.
Well, how do you find your buyers? Do they just search you on Google or your site, or how do you come across the buyers?
A lot of buyers come to us just finding us on Pinterest, on Google, and in Facebook groups,
Hmm.
and then also in the Her Paper Route community where we have a content creator sort of community of bloggers. A lot of our buyers and sellers come from that community too, and then they tell their friends, and it just kind of snowballs from there. As you know, with
Oh
your community,
yeah.
you have a good experience, and you're going to want to tell someone about it, and it just kind of grows from there.
Well, about how many sites do you currently have, like, or on average on your website?
We usually have about 25 to 30 listings at a time,
Hmm.
and we offer listings for starter sites as well as established sites.
Hmm.
And the funny thing is it's really kind of can be seasonal, where there'll be seasons where it seems like buyers just want established sites, and those will sell really fast. And then we'll have seasons where it's like, no, the starter sites are actually flying off the digital shelf.
Yeah.
But that's why we offer both because, there's different buyers for each market. Some buyers want a site that has revenue, traffic, community, social followers, big email list, and they're willing to, go down that lane. They won't even look at the starter sites. And then
Hmm.
there's people who are like, no, I actually just want to get something up off the ground. Like, I don't want to install hosting. I don't want to create those first posts. I just want a site that just has great content, a great domain, but maybe doesn't have the traffic or revenue yet because they know how to monetize or they're interested in growing it. And that's where a starter site would be a better fit for those buyers.
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned email list. Does anyone ever come to you saying, I just want to buy the list. I don't want to buy the whole site, or do you make them buy the full Monty?
Oh yeah, we would definitely have them acquire the whole brand. I
Mhm.
don't think it's morally and maybe even legal to sell an email list on its own nowadays.
Oh,
So
right. Yeah.
anything like that, we would always make sure, okay, it comes with an email list, but you're getting the domain, the brand, the socials, the
Oh,
website
yes.
too.
I'm sure you have
Yeah.
people ask that before, haven't you?
Oh, definitely they do. And a lot of times buyers, sometimes they'll buy a site with the intention to merge it into another site that they already have.
Hmm.
We see this with coaches a lot. So maybe you're just getting started in, say, like a wellness meditation niche. You want to start your coaching business and you just want some content and
Hmm.
some traffic, maybe a community that's already around a wellness niche, and they'll buy a wellness website on Niche Investor or wherever they go in the market,
Hmm.
and they'll just slap their name on it. And now it's their part of their coaching brand. So that's something that we see a lot too. It's sort of another way to grow a business is to just not start from scratch. You can kind of get a jump start that way.
Oh yeah, I really like that idea. So, do certain niches or niches sell better than others?
Well, I think from the data that I've seen over the last, I'd say, I think 5 years, it seems like personal finance sites always sell fast. People
Hmm.
love to get into the finance niche. But what I really noticed too is anything that's around like mindfulness, mental health, and
Hmm.
education, those niches or niches do really well too. And sometimes, though, aside from that, it really comes down to the profitability of the site, no matter the niche. So if it just has, this great organic traffic coming in and it has a very active Pinterest account that comes with it, that's going to be high value, no matter the niche. But I would say stay away from niches that are like X-rated,
Oh,
anything
you're right.
gun, gambling. Yeah, anything that's harder to monetize with ad networks, then maybe that wouldn't be a good niche to try to sell.
Well, does anybody ever have second thoughts, like they'll put their site up for sale and then go, "Oh, I changed my mind." Can they take it down, or they got to wait a certain time, or what do you do about that?
Yes, that happens sometimes too. And of course, it's frustrating if there is an offer on the table. That's actually happened.
Yes.
Buyers were ready, and then the seller had second thoughts. But I sympathize with the seller too, because if you're not ready to sell, of course, don't sell, So it
Mhm.
happens, and you can always take your listing down at any time with our site. You would just have to wait 60 days to sell it to someone else, and we have that in place because we put in effort, advertising dollars in promotion, in the promotion of your site. So it wouldn't be fair if someone, got all of that kind of exposure and then just sold it on their own. So that's why we have
Right.
that 60-day, and then that protects us and the work that we
Mhm.
put in for our sellers. And it's so far, like knock on wood, that's always been, that's never been a problem. People understand that.
Mhm.
We've also had sellers where I've actually been buying a site because we do have something where people can do a direct sale if they don't want to go into the marketplace. If their site meets certain
Oh.
eligibility, they can just
Uh-huh.
sell it to me and I'll buy it personally.
Hmm.
Um, and that's you get a quick guaranteed sale. You don't have to do negotiations and you don't have to pay any commission if you do it that way. So that's like a nice alternative that we have. And there's actually been times when I've been, I put the money in escrow. I'm so excited, and it's only one time this happened, and the girl decided, you know what? I've actually changed my mind. I was up all night. I'm not ready to get rid of my site. So it's
Yeah.
sad I wasn't able to get that one, but I can't be mad. Like I'm a creator too, and everyone on my team is also a content creator, so we get it. We know, like you're never pressured to sell something if you're not ready.
Yeah, because my Mom Beach site is my online baby. And there's been times where I thought, oh, I would like to sell this, but then I thought, oh, I don't think I could because I've been had this little baby for 10 years,
Right,
taking care of
yeah,
it, nurturing it. I've grown an email list with it. I have a store on it. I have all my pictures, my information on there, and I just don't think I could do it. I'm sure a lot of people are in the same boat. So,
totally.
so you mentioned before escrow, like how does that work?
Yeah, so escrow, we use a great escrow service where a seller can send their money to be held securely while we do like the website transfer. So, or sorry, the buyer can send the money. So while we're doing the website transfer with the seller to the buyer's account, knowing that if anything goes wrong, we can cancel escrow and they'll get their money back and the seller will get their site back. So
Hmm.
that's just a nice layer of security there for any transaction because we do sell worldwide. So having that escrow to protect the buyer and the seller is just, we would never say, hey, just sell it on PayPal because that's people can actually steal your site if they're using PayPal. So escrow
Oh,
makes
I
sure
didn't
that.
know that because yeah, you think that PayPal would add an extra layer of security because then you could follow dispute. So you've had people try to do that?
Oh gosh, yeah. So I've seen it happen. So not with us because we always use escrow, but there was a time that someone decided they wanted to use PayPal for whatever reason they didn't want to use escrow. And then we said,
Uh-huh.
okay, well, there's some issues that can come up. Like it's your decision, but this could happen. The seller could file a complaint, or sorry, the buyer could file a complaint and then just retrieve their money after they've got your site.
Oh
And then
no.
your
Uh,
site's been stolen. And so, we told them that, and unfortunately, that did happen. So
oh.
now we don't even bother telling people. We just say
Mhm.
no, don't do it. It's just too, it's too risky. Always use our secure escrow service that we provide. That's part of our service,
Mhm.
and it's just gonna who nobody wants their site stolen,
Oh
and it's to make
yeah.
sure that
Yeah, I
doesn't
can. I mean,
happen.
I would be really upset. Oh.
Oh God, it'd be horrible. Yeah. Fortunately, it was a starter site. It's still bad, but it wasn't a huge, huge loss or a huge expense. It was a smaller one. So, you know, it could have been a lot worse, but still.
So does this
Um,
escrow service, is it like a third party? Do they charge extra fees?
It's a third party and they charge a nominal percentage fee, and the buyer and seller, it's all outlined when the transaction goes out, so you can kind of see what the fees
Hmm.
are, and the seller pays that fee. It just comes off of the price that they receive from the buyer. So they don't have to add
Yeah.
in any money, it just comes off of the price
Well,
that
what
they're
if somebody buys one of the sites and then they find that it's not making money as they thought it would? Like, can they get a refund, or how does that work?
Oh gosh. Well, fortunately, that doesn't really happen because the thing is, you have to do your due diligence before entering into a sale agreement. You
Yeah.
have to make sure that you understand the revenue streams. You've asked the seller, and you've also asked us as brokers any questions that you have, so that before you put your signature on that saying, yes, I understand what I'm buying, you
Hmm.
really do understand it. So if you acquire a site and then, oh, well, it's not making any money anymore, then it's like, well, did you pin anything this week? Like, did you keep kind of things going on like the seller said would be required?
Yeah.
We always make sure that the education is there for buyers and sellers so that, you're not buying a lemon, and also so that we're not listing a lemon. We got to make sure we understand what we're selling too.
Oh, definitely. I'll have to look on there because I would like to get like another site because I want to do like a travel blog
Oh,
because I want to
cool.
start like a Texas travel blog, and I thought of doing my own. I bought the domain Top Texas Travel, but I'd rather get a site that's already going on and then like maybe just add that domain or do something.
Yeah, you can
Be
move the
cool.
content to that domain. That's a good domain that you got.
Yeah, because I would like to do something with that domain because I love Texas and I love I know a lot about it. Like I actually was born here, and I just thought that'd be an interesting blog to start.
That's great. Yeah, especially now with so much kind of US travel going on internally in the States, doing a US, like a state travel blog is smart.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, so what would you say to someone out there that wants to find you and learn more about this?
Awesome. Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me, Becky. This has been so much
Mhm.
fun to get face to face with you again. Anyone who's interested, you can find me. I have two sites. So herpaperroute.com is where
Mhm.
I teach about blog flipping and growing, monetizing your blog. And then nicheinvestor.com. That is where we list websites. You can go there to browse sites that are for sale
Mhm.
if you're on that side, or if you want to find out how much your site could potentially sell for, you can get a free valuation there. And we have a free community with lots of resources and education under both sites.
Oh, awesome. And do you have like a freebie for our listeners today?
Absolutely, yes. Sorry, I should have mentioned that. If you go to herpaperroute.com/join, we have a free toolkit for content creators or people who
Mhm.
want to learn how to grow your site and monetize it with the intention of possibly selling it down the road. So inside that toolkit, we have a profit and loss sheet. You can fill it out every month to kind of track your revenue. We have ebooks and resources and stuff to help you
Mhm.
with the website growing and flipping side of things to make it not confusing. Because there's a few things you need to know, but it's not hard and anybody can do it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I might look into that because I got like some other sites, that I just haven't been doing anything with. Like one's about house plants. I know
Oh
that's
yeah?
really stupid.
No, that's cool. We actually sold a houseplants blog recently.
Oh, you
Um,
did?
yeah, it got lots of attention, so there's the market for it.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, I'll put all Chelsea's information in the show notes at beckybeachshow.com. Well, thanks so much for being here today, Chelsea. Do you have any last words for our listeners?
Thank you so much. And I would just love to say that anyone who feels a little bit overwhelmed with the idea of selling their business, honestly, anyone, like I said, anyone can do it. There's really simple steps to it. And as long as you are tracking your revenue and you're keeping your Google Analytics connected, so you've just got that history that buyers can see, that's going to give that trust that buyers need. That's going to
Mhm.
show that you are, you're genuine. You're making sure that all your financials are really, tickety boo. It's okay if your site's a little messy. It's okay if you have a community that's kind of all over the place, or maybe you have an older site that doesn't have as much traffic anymore. As
Mhm.
long as your content is quality and you've been keeping good records, you're going to be just fine. So don't be scared to get evaluation. There's no pressure there.
Oh, excellent. Oh, okay, well, make sure to check out Chelsea at our show notes at beckybeachshow.com. Well, thanks so much for being here again, Chelsea. Have a great day. Goodbye.
Bye.
Okay. Thanks so much for listening to the Becky Beach Show. Please check out the show notes at beckybeachshow.com and my membership, businessbeachclub.com, to start and scale your own digital product business. Have a great day. See you next time on the Becky Beach Show.